Summer is here, and that means that we are often trekking ourselves to the pool with our kids, or maybe you've got a summer vacation planned, or maybe you've got like a really fantastic dress that you want to wear to a summer wedding that you're attending. Whatever the reasons are, many women this time of year are trying to figure out how they can very strategically and rather quickly lose a few extra pounds. What I want to share with you today are some very realistic, habit-based strategies that have actually helped me to lose weight in what I consider to be a relatively fast time frame. And no, before you freak out, none of them include like 4 a.m. workouts and kale juices and ice baths or anything like that. Though some of that stuff is fun and it's always worth a try to see if it tickles your fancy, it's not required. Like many of you, I'm a mom, I'm tired, I'm a little overwhelmed sometimes by all of the things that I have on my to-do list. And so I needed something that was realistic, and you probably do too. So let's jump into these habit-based strategies I think will really help. Speaking of being a tired mom, one of the first habits is removing as much decision fatigue from your life as you possibly can. We make thousands of decisions every single day, and it can be incredibly overwhelming. This is something that I think prevents us often from making progress on goals. It doesn't even matter what the goal is. It doesn't have to be weight loss, but in this specific video, that's what we're talking about. So putting yourself in a position where you have less decisions to make, which means that doing yourself a favor, like eating the exact same thing every day for breakfast or for lunch or maybe for both, is one key way that you can really help yourself be consistent and not have to make decisions, which can put you down a path to choose the good thing or the bad thing, right? Let's just choose the good thing every time by being consistent and eating that same thing. By making that choice ahead of time, and you just know that this is my breakfast or this is my lunch, you know that it's healthy, you know that it fits kind of some of the other strategies, and you don't have to think about it. Willpower is one of the things that many of us struggle most with when it comes to making better dietary choices and things like that. So as much as you possibly can, making some switches in what is available to you in your little snackery, in your pantry and in your fridge, making sure that the snacking options that you do have are healthy. And I have to tell you, I've told y'all so many times before for so many years now that Thrive Market is my go-to place for healthy snacks. And especially during the summer, if you're used to your kids being in school and now they're home with you all day, and so you've got to have snack options for them too. I want to show you a few of my favorite snacking options. Now, this is a brand new launch from Cloud, which is Khloe Kardashian's food brand. I got to tell you, I've been doing some damage on this. This is the popcorn. It's the sweet and salty kettle corn. It does come in 2 other flavors as well. There is an olive oil and sea salt, as well as white cheddar for just that like savory taste. I love the sweet and salty kettle corn. It's my jam. I mean, I like them all, honestly. But healthier option for popcorn snacking, especially when I'm just like sitting at my desk editing a video or something. A couple things my kids have been loving are these organic fruit circles. Again, this is the Thrive Market in-house brand. This one they're going nuts over, and I'm not gonna lie, so am I, especially when I need like a little sweet something. This is actually from an Allergy Smart brand, and that's one of the other things I love about Thrive Market is that you can sort and filter the foods that you're looking for. So if your kids have food allergies or you have food allergies, you can filter by those kind of parameters to find exactly what you're looking for. These mini birthday cake cookies, they're gluten-free, nut-free, and dairy-free, and they're amazing. There's no hyperbole here. There's no extra drama. I could eat this whole box, but they do come in little individual sized baggies, and they're so freaking good. Oh my gosh. That's a great little sweet treat when I need one. I ordered for my kids, but I honestly really love it too, are these Simple Mills almond flour farmhouse cheddar crackers. They look a little bit like a Cheez-It, but they are not. And actually, I think these are way, way better. Just like a little bit of a kick to the flavor of these. And they do come individually packaged, which makes them nice for intentional snacking and not just cramming our face right out of the box, you know. Thrive Market is my absolute go-to place for my healthy snacking options. I highly recommend them. I have for years for a reason. If you want to give Thrive Market a try, and I highly recommend that you do, you can click the link down below in my description box, or just go to thrivemarket.com/Angela Braniff, and you're going to get 30% off your first order and a free gift. Making better choices when snacking is obviously a huge priority. The other thing I would highly recommend is part of the reason I like all of those like individually packaged snack options is that no matter what you're eating, put it in a bowl, put it on a plate. Don't just stand there and eat out of the container. Don't stand there and eat out of the bag. That is the number one way to eat way, way more than you intend to eat. And I think makes you feel like you can't ever have anything that's a bit of an indulgence when that's not true. It's just, portion control. So we get very distracted and we end up eating a whole lot. So there's a couple of ways to kind of help correct that. Like I said, one, always put your food onto a plate or in a bowl so that one, you can see how much you're actually eating, and two, you're fully aware before you start going back for more and more and more. You're not just going to sit there and mindlessly eat. The other kind of like prong of that is to not be scrolling something. Don't be scrolling your phone. Don't just be sitting there watching TV while you're eating. Like, stop, take a moment and just eat your food. Obviously, if there's other kids are there, whatever, like converse. But allow yourself to be, it sounds kind of silly, but like aware and present while you're eating so that you're not distracted. You're aware, I'm eating, I'm feeling satiated, and now I'm feeling full. Sometimes we can get, that like painfully full feeling. I hate that feeling too. So I've tried to make it a habit over the years to allow myself to feel the food that I'm eating and stop eating as I start to feel full, and not wait till I get to the point where like I've got to unbutton my pants and now I'm just like, ugh, like it's the worst. Okay. It's the worst. This is the 2-minute reset habit rule that I promise I think is really going to help you. I can promise, but I think it's really going to help you because it helped me. If stress eating or emotional eating is a problem for you, try this. When you start to feel like I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling anxious, and you're going to the pantry, you're going to the fridge, you're grabbing for the snacky thing, put on a timer on your phone for 2 minutes and make yourself wait for 2 minutes and do anything non-food related first. Go outside for a second, take a quick walk, a lap around your house, walk to your mailbox and back, fold a load of laundry. Just do something before you allow yourself to go to the pantry for that snack, because in a lot of circumstances, I'll realize, oh, I'm not actually in fact hungry. This was just like a stress response. I was feeling stressed about something and I told myself that like, we are hungry, just go get a snack. And that's not it. I just need to take a minute, breathe, go for a walk. And sometimes you can kind of walk off that feeling. Now, that's not going to work in all scenarios, but it's a good habit to get into if you find yourself eating outside of the normal times that you would be eating or should be. If you're like, but I just had lunch, why am I hungry? Or why do I feel like I need a snack again? It's a good like kind of pause point. All right, let's talk about getting in some movement and exercise that might be a little hard at the time, considering all the things you've got going on. I get it, right? So what I want to focus on are just some little daily habits. So pairing movement with any other kind of habit that you have that you could do. So if you are like, listen, I really love to just spend like 10 minutes and scroll through YouTube shorts or Instagram reels or something like that, pair that with a walk. Just again, walk to your driveway and back, walk around your house. Obviously safety here, right? We don't want to be walking, staring at our phones. Like it's got to be like a good place to do that. One thing for me is we have a really long driveway and it's very tempting to hop on the golf cart or get in my car to go down because we have a package drop at the entrance to our driveway so that drivers don't have to come all the way up where our kids are playing and our chickens and animals are and stuff like that. I will typically take the golf cart or my car to go down to get packages. And instead I swap that with making myself walk down there to get packages. Now, obviously, if it's like a Chewy delivery for animal food, I'm not going to haul that all the way back up, but it's great exercise because I got to go down a hill and back up. And I also get a little bit of extra because I'm usually carrying some packages back up. It's just a little habit that forces me to physically move if I want the reward of like whatever might be in that Amazon package that's showing up, you know? A little exciting that way. Another great idea is the walk and talk rule. And that means like if you're going to get on the phone with your mom, your sister, your best friend, and you know you're going to talk for 10, 20, 30 minutes, walk while you do it. Go for a walk. Don't just sit on the sofa. Don't stand in the kitchen at the counter. Like if I'm going to get on the phone and yib yab, I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk around and I'm going to do stuff, right? It's all about finding ways to sneak in better choices and movement into our day where you might not get it otherwise. Close down your kitchen like a restaurant or a store. 8 p.m. or whatever time you set for yourself, 7:30, 8 p.m. that you want to stop eating, because I do think late night snacking is just almost never a good idea. Closing down your kitchen like it was a restaurant type of a thing. You know, you can get everything tidy, cleaned up, turn all the lights off, like shut down the kitchen so that it doesn't feel like an inviting place to come and get snacks and stuff like that. You have to put padlocks on the door, an alarm system or something, but just in your mind, you have shut down the kitchen. That is not an option anymore. The kitchen is closed. I mean, I tell my children this all the time. The kitchen is closed, especially between like breakfast and lunch. They, they'll have breakfast, then they want a snack, and then a lot of times they want 2-3 more snacks before lunchtime. And I will say the kitchen is closed until lunchtime. Sometimes I have to close the kitchen on myself too. This next one you might not like. My goal is to share with you habits that actually help and that I feel work. So I do think that this one is important. I've spoken about this many times over the years. The importance of not turning your bed into a place where you hang out. If you're struggling with getting enough sleep, which is going to affect weight loss and your ability to lose weight, you've got to get adequate sleep. And part of that is not training your brain that when I get in bed, I'm going to be doing all these other things. When I get in bed, it's time to go to sleep. It seems a little bit like much, a little dramatic, but honestly, it really makes a big difference. If you take the time to tidy up, pick up, get up and move around your house in the evening before you're going to bed, number one, that's going to help prevent you from getting too snacky because you're distracted, you're doing things. But don't get in the bed an hour or hour and a half before you intend to go to sleep. Like, go ahead and get in the bed when you're ready to put your phone away and go to sleep. And it will help train your body that in here we sleep. In fact, I believe it is Dr. Huberman that I learned this from. I cannot remember, but it probably is. Or it could be the other sleep doctor guy whose name is slipping my mind at the moment. But they talk a lot about insomnia. You can think that it's counterintuitive to get out of bed, but if you find yourself tossing and turning and not being able to fall back asleep, they recommend that you actually get out of bed and go do something else, like leave your bedroom, go do something else for 10, 20 minutes, then come back and get in bed and attempt to fall back asleep. Because there's just, it's like your body has to be trained that this is where we sleep. When we're in this bed, we fall asleep. And if you think this is just like woo-woo weird stuff, I'm going to tell you a quick funny story. Is that when I was fresh out of high school, I had moved back in with my parents. It's a long story. I didn't live with them my senior year, but I moved back in with my parents, and every night I would watch, this was back VHS, I'm really aging myself here. I had a little TV in my room and I would pop in my Steel Magnolias VHS to watch Steel Magnolias, and I'd put that on, and that's what I would fall asleep to every night. Months later, I think I sat down to watch that movie one afternoon with like my mom and my sister or something. It was just the middle of the day. We put the movie on and I was out like that, out of nowhere. I wasn't sleepy, I wasn't tired, I just immediately went to sleep because I had trained myself, my body, my brain, that when that movie came on, it was time to go to sleep. So I had to stop doing that because that's one of my favorite movies and I wanted to be able to watch it. That's how easily we can trick our brains and convince our brains. So it really is about making consistent choices. Right. We all know that the scale can be a big, fat, lying liar that lies, okay? It's a lying liar that lies sometimes. And especially, like, I'm a taller girl, so I can put on a few pounds before I see it. By the time I see it, it's usually gonna be some work to remove it because it's more than 2 or 3 pounds. Some of you shorter gals, you're like, look, I gained 2 pounds and I can see it. It's spread out a little bit farther the taller you are. One of the things that I think is way more telling and way better to track, if you're like, all right, I've got 6 weeks until this thing or 4 weeks until this vacation, I really want to look fantastic in this dress or whatever it is. Find an item. I highly recommend jeans. I don't know what it is about jeans, but the right pair of jeans tells no lies. And instead of constantly weighing yourself, try on those jeans once a week, every week, same time, same circumstances, meaning either in the morning or in the evening, that kind of thing. Be consistent about when and where and how you do that. But once a week, try on those jeans. How do they feel? Are they feeling different? Because they're going to tell the truth that the scale might be lying to you about. You might feel like you're feeling a little more svelte and you put on those jeans and they look great. And then you get on the scale and you're like, but that number has not gone down as much as I thought it would. Doesn't matter. The jeans, they don't lie. The next habit that I have for you is hydration before caffeine. This one is very, very hard for me. It is one I still struggle with a lot, but when I especially want to feel like I'm leaning out a little bit and getting rid of a little of the extra fluff, it's so important because I can get very distracted by drinking a whole lot of coffee all day, and then I don't end up drinking enough water. Different story if you're outside doing stuff, it's much easier. But if I'm working inside, or like right now, the temperatures are sky high and it's almost impossible to be outside because it's so hot that it's almost unsafe. I'm inside a lot where it's air conditioned. And so I don't get the same feeling of thirst all the time. I'm almost like chronically dehydrated. And so one way that I really have to force myself is to drink water first thing in the morning instead of going for coffee first. Like, start to get the hydration going before we start to get the caffeine going. It sucks, I know. I'm not gonna lie to you, it sucks. I didn't say that these were all gonna be fun and dandy, okay? It's just truth serum time. And by the way, for what it's worth, you don't need to do like hot lemon water. You can do all of those things. There's like a gnat, it's driving me nuts. You can do all those things. You can do like a hot lemon water or something, but you don't have to. Plain water works. And why it works is because it can reset those hunger cues as well as help with your digestion. Like, get all that going straight away. The next habit that I want to remind you of, we often think of exercise as something that is like, we got to put on our tinny shoes, our tinny boppers. We got to go out and use the machine. We got to go lift the weights. We got to put on our weighted vest. I've talked about all those things before. I still love them, use them, highly recommend them. That doesn't change. But what I want to remind you, getting your body moving and getting some exercise can come in so many different forms, all right? You want to bust out a 15-minute dance party with your kids in the kitchen in the afternoon when like you feel like you've got energy mid-morning, the energy's there, but you can't go switch on your, like change your shoes and go out to the gym. That feeling of like, I have the energy that I could work out right now, but my circumstances mean that I can't. It's okay. A dance party, a squat party while you're brushing your teeth. Like, you could flip on some kind of like 10-minute YouTube video that's like a quick exercise thing with your kids. Or I'm just going to tell you right now, the dance party with your kids, hands down, like the best, especially if you incorporate some, like, listen, I'm a millennial, all right? So if you incorporate some dropping it lows, some squat down, some drop down, and of course, let's be silly here because we're with our children. So we're going to be fun and silly with it. This is not like 1999 club dancing, okay? I don't want to hear any from the window to the walls. I'm talking like walking on sunshine, okay? Get your mind out of the gutter. But that kind of movement, that dancing around your kitchen and having fun, is such a quick and easy way to get your heart rate up, to get a little bit of that aerobic exercise in. It can just happen naturally throughout the day, okay? It doesn't have to be like set exercise workout. As you probably have noticed, none of these habits are like mind-blowing. They're not flashy. They're not some new fad or trick or something, but they are habits that I feel like they can fit into your realistic life. They are things that will actually work in the midst of a life that is full of busyness and messiness and chaos in the best way. But if you actually have that goal of wanting to be able to lose, 10, 15, 20, 25 pounds over the course of a shorter amount of time, you have to build in consistent habits, things that you can actually do and stick to, that don't require as much like thought and decision from you. Now, obviously, all of this is stacking on top of what you're actually eating and your workout regimen. This is stuff that's like in addition to that. I've done other videos, and I will link those down below for you, about intermittent fasting, which I highly recommend. I've talked a lot about my hydro rowing machine, which I love because it combines strength training with cardio and it's easy on the joints. If you have any other fantastic tips, especially for moms and busy moms during this like summertime when, my kids are home all the time, but I understand that for some people whose kids are not home all the time, it's even harder when you're not used to that. So if you've got any tips or recommendations, please share with the class down below in the comments. We'd all like to hear them. Thank you very much. And don't forget to give Thrive Market a try. Use my link down below.
Just go to thrivemarket.com/Angela Braniff.
Get that 30% off your first order and a free gift. Everybody loves a free gift. I know I do. Give that all a try. Get yourself some healthy snacks. Losing weight, especially in a crunch time, is never a fun ordeal or thing to go through. But I will say that when we get ourselves to a place where we're feeling really good in our skin, whatever that number is, whatever that size is, none of that matters. But when we get to the place where we feel our best and we feel good, there's really no better feeling than feeling healthy and good in your own skin. Godspeed, and I will hopefully see you again very soon.